Ubisoft have just released their newest title update for Assassin's Creed Shadows, which includes loyalty and progression rewards for those of you who are still playing the game. We've also got big parkour upgrades and a brand new in-game activity called Corrupted Castles that you may find interesting. So let's fly through this in the usual no-nonsense fashion so you can decide if it is worth actually logging back in for. Now, the update is ready for you to download right now, and it is available for you to play with the patch size itself coming in at 3.44 gigabytes on the PS5, with the Xbox Series X and S coming in at 9 or 10 gigabytes here. The PC at 9.4, Steam is sitting at 4.7, and the Max, if you play on Mac, is looking at the usual 9 gigabytes. But the most important question here is, what are those fancy looking gold weapons on the thumbnail, and how do you actually get hold of them? Well, when you do log in, depending upon how much you've played Shadows previously, you may see a few of these weapons popping up on your screen into your inventory as you've then already completed the requirements to actually earn them, which, by the way, all the activities on the Awaji DLC, they do not count towards unlocking any of these weapons. Now, for Naoe, there are 2 gold weapons for you to earn on behalf of her here. The first is the Shinobi's Gold Tanto, which you can earn by completing all the legendary Sumi-E activities of the game, which there are 5 of. I do have a very simple video on how to find each one on the channel. I will link that at the end for you if you want to do this. The second is the Golden Death Kusarigama, which you can earn by completing all of the Kujikiri meditation activities in the game, which there are 22 of. So if you really want this, have fun with that one. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to Yasuke, the big man. He picks up 4 gold weapons here in this update. The first is the Golden Breath Bow, which you can earn by completing all horse archery activities with him, which there are 10 of in this game. It's not as bad as the Kujikiri. The second weapon you can earn for him is the Golden Reach Naginata, which you can get by completing 18 kata activities around the world. Thirdly, you can snag yourself a Golden Daybreak Kanabo by reaching level 100, which is certainly the most challenging one to earn out of all of them. For sure, that is a grind. And fourthly, to get the big boy Golden Message Teppo, you will need to get your hideout to level 13, which, by the way, will activate if you're currently playing New Game Plus and your hideout isn't level 13. So if you've got it before, the game will recognize that, which is good work by the devs there. Now, there are also 2 weapons Ubisoft released a few months ago as further loyalty rewards. Well, for those of you who completed New Game Plus, you got this gold long and short katana for Yasuke and Naoe. So if you manage to log in and get all of these weapons, I want you to comment down below, because I want to know who here is actually smashing this game to pieces, who doesn't need to do anything. It's all in your inventory. And I think if you have done that, or if that does appear on your screen, you deserve a firm handshake, in my opinion. Now, once you do have these weapons, you can go and smash some corrupted Daisho enemies in the new corrupted castles across the game. But how do you actually unlock them, and how do you get them to appear on your map? Well, this is a new Animus themed activity that is dependent upon the seasonal mechanic in this game, and that will then refresh these 5 corrupted castles every time you transition to a new season, and they will be marked, or they will look like this on your map. I'm just going to zoom in here for you. So if this icon appears, a corrupted castle is ready for you to get involved in. Now, the caveat here is that you need to have a standard level of level 30 or above, and you must have cleared 3 castles across the map before these corrupted castles then start spawning. They will also feature Animus Anomaly events in them, and they will then spawn these corrupted Daisho bosses, which are then much tougher than the normal ones in the game. So it's a little bit more of a challenge here for you. Now, once you kill all of these corrupted Daisho in each of their respective castles, you'll then be able to access the corrupted castle chest, which then awards gear, gold, and I did think that we were going to get Animus keys as a reward, but we haven't actually seen any of those keys drop yet from the ones that we've tested. So let's wait and see. If you find out more or get some, please let us know down below in the comments. Now, we've also got a big parkour update in this title update, as well as some big Animus changes. We've got a Cyborg armor set to go through as well. But very swift one from me. Please very quickly drop a like or press the hype button down below in the video if you find this stuff useful. There is so much AI slop just being spammed on YouTube right now. So as an actual person and not as an AI bot, well, I don't think I am. I hope not. But this helps support me, and hopefully will recalibrate your own recommendations with actual decent stuff. I hope it's decent stuff. Oh my God, am I in the Matrix? What is going on? Anyway, let's move on to some parkour stuff, and thanks very much for your support. Right then, this is the second parkour update for the game since the first one back in May, with some further upgrades here. The first thing that you need to know is that there is a new Advanced Parkour toggle in the settings menu, which if you turn on, will allow both Naoe and Yasuke to perform a side or back eject off walls at any height, whereas before, it was only possible if you had the correct wall or angle to jump to. You'll also be able to side eject directly to the ground, so you don't need to disengage and then just hop down a linear wall or vertically anymore, which I think is excellent. Another good upgrade is that the vertical ledge grab grab added at the start of the year now applies to standalone objects in the game as well, such as beams, lanterns, poles, any of these pillars you come across. So Naoe and Yasuke will proactively jump to them and reach for them instead of just kind of running under these overhangs in the game, which is also a good update. They've also added in a directional catch ledge grab from the older AC games where you can then jump from a very high height and then catch a ledge on your way down where you will still take some fall damage, but you won't die from it. So it's really good fun if you manage to get this right. And finally, we have a manual jump added here in Shadows in this update. The caveat being that this version only works on non-standing objects in the game. So for example, if you're just running across a rooftop, you can now press X to hop up to the next level or surface of that ledge ahead of you. Whereas before this update, Naoe would only vault once she was right up against it. So this change makes your parkour flow faster and it is more responsive. Now, these are great changes. These are great updates, but I will tell you what isn't good and what I'm really unhappy with are these Animus changes that are coming in this patch. They've been snuck in, and I'm going to tell you why I think this is a bad thing for the game right now. Because if we scroll through the patch notes here, you will see this section labeled as additional highlights. Now, I don't want to be pedantic, but the definition of a highlight is positive or outstanding parts of something that draws special attention to it. So naturally, you would assume that we're going to get some sort of nice Animus Anomaly buff or highlight here in this update, right? Absolutely not. That is not what we've got here, because Ubisoft are rebalancing the infinite reward tier here in the Animus hub, which means a reduction in the amount of Animus keys that you can earn from 400 down to 100 once you hit the end of the infinite progression track. Now, that is a 75% nerf to the same activity that you were doing a week ago, which now means you're going to have to grind an extra 2 or 3 months if you're chasing a specific reward in the exchange. So yes, apparently this is a positive or additional highlight for those of you who actually use the system, and I vehemently disagree with it, because all this does is it artificially extends this engagement time for players who are already the most committed to the game. That may be you. You may be thinking, what on earth's going on here? I agree with you, because even if this rebalance increases how many anomalies spawn weekly, or if it lets you finish projects sooner, as according to the patch notes, I think it is fair to say that most players that are still engaging with this mechanic, again, that might be you, you've already finished all of the projects on offer anyway, meaning that this isn't about game pacing. This is about bumping engagement stats for that shareholder financial quarterly report, so the game then feels healthier. And because of that, I really dislike this change. It's not good for you or I, it's not good for players. I don't think it's very respectful of our time, and I sincerely hope it gets reversed quickly, because all of the goodwill that we've seen from the developers and the community managers have been so great this year, and this change just feels like we're kind of going backwards. Yeah, we're taking 1 step forward and then 2 steps backwards. This kind of stuff happened in Valhalla. It was really prolific and not good. So please share your thoughts about this down below in the comments, as I know the developers read what you have to say, and that's the only way that this type of stuff is going to change for the better in the future. Now, speaking of the future, this far future armor set has also just dropped. So what is all that about again? Let's go and take a look at that right now. And if you hadn't already guessed it, this is of course an MTX pack available in the Helix store for 2,300 Helix credits, which works out to be around $20 or euros, on about 15 quid here in the UK, or depending upon where you are. Now, you will get the Time Blaster rifle variant for Yasuke's Teppo in this pack. You'll also pick up the Mecha Horse, plus a matching trinket or amulet for both characters in this set. Now, if you played Odyssey or Valhalla, this Abstergo-inspired futuristic aesthetic will look very familiar to you, so it's not a wild surprise that it's featuring here in this game. And yes, MTX does fund free updates like this, which Simon, the game director himself, reiterated to us directly on a call last week, which I have absolutely no problem with at all. I'm not here to tell you what you want to do with your money. If you want to buy the set, crack on, and we will get some more free content off the back of it. Now, he also teased, while I'm on the topic, some really cool details about an Isu cave upcoming in a new update next month, and I will leave a link to that breakdown after this video if you do want to know what that's about. But the twist with this pack is that when you wear one of the helmets, you will sound different. Your voice will dilate. In fact, listen to Naoe and Yasuke when they've got both of these helmets from this set equipped in game.
He has a heart too big for his head, that Junjiro.
He's a good boy.
pretty cool if you're into that thing. Now, combat-wise, when you do land a perfect dodge as Naoe, you will absorb kinetic energy, which then explodes once the meter fills up, as you can see here. I'll just zoom in for you. You'll also trigger a overcharge explosion at any time you kill an enemy while you are outnumbered, and the trinket amplifies this mechanic, causing the energy blast to damage up to 3 nearby enemies, which can get a little bit wild in crowds or if you've aggroed everybody on the map. On top of that, if you land a combo ender cleanly, and that means that you attack an enemy without taking damage and then you finish with a kill animation, you will then fire off a ranged energy slash from this legendary katana. Now, as for Yasuke, the Cyborg Grimace helm lets you supercharge posture attacks, so holding R1 or R2 then stores up this energy, and then once you then release it, you're going to generate more energy damage with every hit. Now, if you equip his amulet like Naoe, that energy damage will arc up to 3 targets nearby, so that chain of lightning will bounce between them. Now, his armor buff also gives him an energy shield that blocks 3 hits before detonating, and once that storage meter is full, as you can see here, which you will then build by performing posture attacks, you can literally just stand there and then wait for the explosion to pop on that hit number 3 from that enemy. Now, as for his rifle, the Time Blaster releases 3 homing shots at an enemy when you aim and hold R2, which, yeah, it's actually pretty crazy when these pieces are kind of equipped together as a full set, but they are massively impactful if you mix and match these individual items with your existing builds. All right then, so we've got another title update very soon with this Isu Cave Community Challenge, as I mentioned. So to find out more about that and a roadmap of more updates coming, click the video on your screen right now, and I will see you there in a second. Cheers to Nika for helping me with this update video for you. And as usual, coffee is on me.